Good morning. This is Natalie Goddard, and I just want to welcome you to this amazing launch webinar. Excited for you to dive into what really is an awesome coming together of amazing minds across doTERRA on how to really launch a business. We have some practical things that have helped you along the way in your businesses, but really understanding the launch, we are just getting down the science of that, and I'm so excited for this to be delivered to you and get in your hands and your leaders' hands so that you can take advantage of the power of momentum and know how to connect to that momentum to launch or relaunch your business wherever you're at. So today, we are honored and privileged to hear from Andrew. And Andrew, I'm so grateful for Andrew Donovan. He has served in so many ways to bring this information together and get it out to you in the field, in the trenches where you need it. So he's got extensive experience bringing this together. And without any further ado, Andrew, take it away.
Hey, thank you so much, Natalie, and good morning, everybody. So we've got a great presentation for you, and today's webinar is actually going to be pretty brief, and it's an intro to launch your business. So if you haven't already got a copy of the brand new launch guide, some of you got a beta version that was at convention, and then we released the official press version just a few weeks ago. It's available for download for free at sharesuccess.com/launch. And just hop on there and you can view it on your web browser or you can download it. But boy, Nat she totally said it right when she said that this was a big coming together of a lot of valuable information. You know, the Share Success system has always been live, share, build. Live, share, build, and we've beat to that drum for eons and eons. And I'm actually going to put the camera on my face here. Oh, that worked. Great. Yeah, so live, share, build, that's always been the drum that we've beat to, and it is such an incredible way to look at business because we get that there are different kinds of people that play different roles in this business, customers, sharers, and builders. And what we found, even as we launched that amazing lead guide last leadership that was built into Train by Rank, we realized that there was something that was missing that was kind of causing a bottleneck for builders to be able to really get off the ground and launch with high energy and high effectivity from the beginning of their doTERRA business. And what we found, it was missing sequencing. And people needed to know not just, where do I find all the right information, but what do I execute? What steps do I do? In what order? What time frame do I do those in? And how intensely should I play if I want to get the results that I really want? And because everybody does doTERRA just a little bit differently, sometimes really differently, this sequencing can be so crucial because it really tells you the right order. And when people have a roadmap in front of them, they tend to have more faith in the process and it's easier to get started because they're beginning with the end in mind. So with Launch Your Business, I'm going to dive right into here and talk to you just a little bit about what this can do for your business. So here's the launch guide, and this is what you'll be downloading at sharesuccess.com. You can also purchase this at Oil Life, which was formerly my oil business, and it's available for purchase at Aroma Tools. When you open up the first spread, this is what you see, and this is basically what I like to call the Launch Your Business treasure map. At the top, you can see the intentions of this guide. And at the bottom, you can see that's the treasure map part, 12 steps to achieve elite in 30 days. Now, I'm going to start right here at the top with you. And by the way, this spread you're going to refer back to often, and I'll tell you how to just access it and get just the juiciest, best information right out of this. But first, let's talk about intentions. The number one thing that Launch Your Business teaches you to do is how to get to elite in 30 days. And basically, you'll be following a plan that has those steps that I've talked about earlier. And what's beautiful about this plan is that it's something that duplicates, and we're going to talk about duplication in this webinar, of course. But the intended outcome of this first intention is to have about 15 plus enrollments and to identify 3 plus builders and to set your structure to be earning your $250 Power of 3 bonus. So mind you, this is in your first 30 days. And when you've got this as your foundation of your business, it's very powerful because you have people that are wanting to build a business with you already, and you've got enough income to where your own products are being paid for plus extra for some small business costs. The second intention is to launch 3 new elites. And this is where you teach your 3 builders to do the exact same elite plan that you followed. And the intended outcome is to set your structure to have that $1,500 Power of 3 bonus. And of course, that means that your 3 new builders are now structuring their $250 Power of 3 bonus. And of course, this is where you're jumping from hundreds of dollars a month to thousands of dollars a month. This is where the income really becomes life-changing. And the results from this process ultimately is that we want to teach you how to change 50 to 100 lives. We want to teach you how to grow yourself, meaning that you're not going to come out of this the exact same person. You're going to come out of this evolved and with a grown character and a grown sense of self-confidence and some new skills. And lastly, we want to teach you how to get paid for all of this. So, of course, if you've taught 3 people to become elite, that puts you at silver. And the average silver income, as published by doTERRA's earnings statement, was $21.67 monthly, and that includes the $1,500 Power of 3. Now, what's wonderful about this process is that you can take this as far as you want, because everything, of course, is built off of elite. So you simply continue to duplicate that elite factory in downline generations of your team. And by doing so, you can achieve literally any desired rank and income advancement. What you're seeing here is a depiction of platinum. Platinum, of course, is built off of 3 silver legs, and each silver, of course, has 3 elite legs. So the point that you're seeing here is that if you can achieve elite yourself in the most efficient way possible, you can then teach other people how to do that, and that continued duplication is what will help you build a platinum to diamond and even presidential diamond. So, very importantly, your builders, they have to see results, and this is so important as leaders and developing leaders even in this company. You know, we know that the product is just wonderful, and we love to share the oils and the supplements and every other wellness product with the people that we love and even strangers sometimes. And we don't have any doubt in our minds that the product is going to be amazing. Sometimes with the business, if we're brand new, or even if we've been doing this for a while but we haven't seen results, it's hard for us to, in good faith, talk to other people and tell them, hey, I've got something for you that's really going to change your life, and I can teach you how to make money doing this. And if we haven't been earning money ourselves, that can be difficult to say with a lot of confidence. But this is a process that works, and the launch guide really, it gives you everything you need to duplicate, okay? It's going to teach you, I'm going to start at the bottom there, the tool set. And that's the Share Success System, okay? That's the live, share, build that we've been beating to forever and ever. And we've, we're always looking for smarter ways to deliver the tools. And now we're introducing this launch guide. The skills, those are things that you do to get your business going, and that's what you're going to learn how to do through taking specific action. And the more consistent the action, the better your skills are going to become. And those skills, they're things that some of you, you'll have little bits and pieces that you already do well naturally, and some of you might feel like, wow, this is a whole new world. It's okay, because they're very simple skills. And the truth about success in this business is that it depends on your ability to do these simple skills continually with high accuracy and full intent. And as you do them, you'll fine-tune them, you'll polish them, and you'll get better at them. And the mindset, the launch guide is going to teach you how to develop that mindset. We develop our mindset, our self-confidence, that success mentality, okay? Because successful people, friends, they think differently than ordinary people. That's why you've got a very large middle class and a very large lower class in this country, and in a smaller upper classes, because successful people, they just think differently. And we teach you the best books and resources that we tap into to develop that success mindset. Now, I want to tell you about a little bit about this Launch Your Business website, and you're actually looking at an older screenshot because we have our web team redesigning this webpage as we speak. And it's the same information, but it's gorgeous. This is sharesuccess.com/launch. And I want you to grab your pen and paper out and write that website down and it's actually on your launch guide too, but this is your one-stop shop until you've hit at least the rank of elite or even premier and are going for silver. This website will teach you it has all the videos that support the launch guide, the video trainings. It has an amazing new launch challenge. It's 21 days, and basically it's the easiest challenge we've ever developed. All you do is enter your email address and your name and push go, and the system automatically feeds you bite-sized pieces of the launch guide and the videos that go with it. And all you have to do is just a little bit of activity every 3 days. And within 21 days, you'll have gone through the entire launch guide. And if you've done the activities, you'll have a lot of momentum going too. So let's go back to this treasure map, as I like to call it, in the launch guide. And I want to focus now on the bottom half of this page. This is what we've nicknamed it the Elite Factory. And this idea actually came from Eric Worre. He's the author of GoPro, which is the first book that you'll read if you haven't already. And if you have, it's a great book to go back to. Eric Worre talks about how to succeed in network marketing, it's all about duplication. He says, it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates. And so you've got to have a process that you can teach new builders how to do. And it's got to be a process that's simple enough that anybody can follow it and do it with relatively high accuracy. So what we've done here is created this Elite Factory, or Laura Jacobs, she likes to call it your rank crank. And basically, it's the most efficient way to launch that foundational rank. And when you continue to launch it over and over and over again, that's when you're really building your business and truly achieving duplication. This launch plan, or this elite plan that you're seeing here, it's something that you can literally do in 30 days, and I'm going to show you the time frame that you can do it in. Even if you're a busy parent or have another full-time job, it's totally possible. And it's something that you'll develop a lot of confidence in. So we're going to go through each of these steps pretty briefly. But first, I want to tell you a crucial truth about building to elite. Whatever you do duplicates. Your urgency, your pacing, your energy, your attitude, the tools that you use, the duplication system that you use, how you show up to mentor, and your consistency, all of it duplicates. So that's so important to know, because there's some things that happen when building to elite happens really slowly. You lose your purpose frequently. A builder can have loss of belief in the financial opportunity, right? Because if you're only making, 50, 60, $100 a month, and you're hoping that this would really change your family's financial destiny, that can be a big detriment. And it's very easy to have a diminishing of energy. And so the opposite is very true too. When you build to elite and you do it efficiently, it shows people that there's success here. Because we know from the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John C. Maxwell, he says that one of the laws of leadership, it's the law of big momentum. People are attracted to success. And so even if you've got, just this little, elite, it's an easy rank to achieve. A lot of people do it in a matter of weeks, and a month is totally possible. Even people seeing you, hit that, and they think, oh, I could do that. Then, it's pretty simple to just duplicate that 3 times. That creates this momentum that is very attractive to people that are looking for an opportunity. People want to follow success, and people also want to follow a train that knows where it's going. So even if you're, it doesn't matter where you're starting with, watching this webinar. Maybe you've been building for a while and you need to get the engines going properly. Even if you just know that you're following the right path from here going forward, that is enough to create a success energy that people will want to follow. So how to launch to elite in 30 days. I want to point out just a few things here. Number one, you see that the steps, of course, go in order. In the bottom right corner of each box, you'll see a page number, or sometimes a few pages. And that's because, of course, each of these steps has supportive pages and supportive videos in this launch guide. And then underneath each step, you'll see some check boxes. This booklet, it's very much intended to be a workbook. So if you haven't printed the launch guide out on your home computer, I encourage you to go to Oil Life and buy a copy. They're very inexpensive, and you're going to refer to this over and over again. I'm one of the 4 people that wrote this, and I fill mine out. I'm going through this constantly, even as a more experienced builder in this company. And basically, when you've checked off each of those boxes, you'll have achieved a level of experience with the skills that build this business to where you can really say that you know what you're doing. So don't skip any of these steps, okay? And don't skip the little check boxes, because you want to make sure that you know the exact process. I like to use the word intimately. And the reason why is because if you know this process truly intimately, you can, in full confidence, tell people that you know where you're going. Now, I've highlighted this little box here because this is the first 4 steps. And you'll notice at the bottom, it says complete in your first 72 hours. All right. Now, if you're a brand new builder, it's time to get this done, and you want to do it as efficiently and timely as possible. If you're an experienced builder or a leader, I encourage you to go back and do the same process just as you're going to teach other new builders to do. That's one of the first things that Laura Jacobs, when she was doing her Diamond Dash that started in October of this year, she had every builder and leader that's going to Diamond go back and do the launch guide with exactness. And you'll see here, these first 4 steps, they're very simple. You can literally do them in a couple of hours. And it's really easy to do. So let's take a look at what this page 4 of your launch guide is. It's an introduction to PIPES. PIPES is an acronym that depicts how you're going to spend your time in the launch guide, and really ultimately how you spend your time through your whole life in doTERRA. doTERRA is a relationship business that's grown by consistently engaging in these 5 pipeline building activities. Now, you may have heard the term income producing activities. It's the exact same thing. What we've outlined here are the most crucial activities, and I'm just going to talk about them really briefly. Prepare, that's where you're setting your goals, you're planning, you're strategizing. It's where you're developing your mindset through personal development every day. It's where you're participating in things like team events, calls, monthly trainings, and it's where you're getting mentored, all right? The prepared section, you guys, it's so crucial, and every, high-end mentor will tell you, you've got to have these things set beforehand. It's kind of like if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? And I want to point out, though, that this prepare section, it's just the back-end stuff. It's not actually action in the field. And I'm saying that because the invite, present, and enroll parts of here, that's where you're really in the trenches with people, where you're actually interacting and developing relationships. These are where the income is actually generated. So inviting, that's where you're sharing your oils or your opportunity, okay? It's where you're inviting people to learn more, and where you're reminding people to attend whatever they've agreed to come to or watch. The presentation, of course, that's a given. That's actually doing the class, the one-on-one, a webinar, a call, whatever it is. And you can even do a presentation by attending someone else's presentation and bringing your guest with you. Enrolling, there are 3 enrollments in doTERRA. Number 1, enroll people as a wellness advocate. Number 2, enroll people as loyalty rewards. Number 3, enroll people in some form of sharing, hosting, or building. And then supporting, that's where you're just maintaining your machine, right? Making sure that you're launching new builders properly, that you're supporting people by helping them with their training events, where you're actually training people, mentoring people, recognizing advancements and things like that on Facebook, and nurturing relationships. Now, I just gave you a lot of information, and I'm going to pause and tell you that this is totally okay, and you don't have to be worried at all, because these things that I've talked about, they're all outlined in the launch guide. So the order that you'll do these things in and the timing, it's going to be spelled out for you. So let's get right into that, shall we? And going forward, technical glitch. There we go. Oh, so sorry. Got to figure out what's going on with my screen here. Okay, so I mentioned this earlier that your success, it depends on your ability to do simple activities consistently with higher accuracy and in full intent. So we're going to run through these 12 steps, and by the time I'm done with this, I want you to feel like you know the process enough to say, hey, this is something that I can feel great about trusting, and it's something that I can teach my people to do with me, okay? So first, very simple, complete a getting started checklist. This is where you're just setting up important logistics of your business once you've completed the first 3 steps in your build guide. So you'll notice there's a flashback to the build guide here. And the build guide is that's the tool that we introduced the business to. There are 3 simple steps at the end of the build guide, and you can download this at sharesuccess.com/build. And there's an intro video there. But those 3 steps, I'm going to just reiterate what they were. They were create a 30-day non-negotiable goal, make a names list, and schedule your presentations, a bunch of classes or one-on-ones in 1 month. And you can't skip these first 3 steps because the launch guide's going to play off those. So if you haven't done them, go back and do them. And you're supposed to do those very quickly. I mean, it literally will take an hour to do all 3 of those. Then the other part is I completed this getting started checklist. The checklist is simple. It's just going through your back office, making sure you've got your LRP order set up and that you are qualifying for commissions, and that if you're brand new and you want to enroll in the Share program, make sure you've done that, and that you've got your personalized website set up. And then number 2 here, make sure that you enrolled in the launch challenge. Okay, this is the support and training part. So if you haven't enrolled in the launch challenge, do that right away. And then write down the details. And if you need to talk to your upline support for these details, go ahead and give them a call. But every team has calls that are available, has Facebook groups, and of course there are team and corporate trainings that happen live on a regular basis all over the world. And so you want to write down the details for those so that you can get plugged in. If you miss this, you're missing getting plugged into a community. And when you don't have that sense of community, it's easy to feel like you're alone. Okay, so if you ever feel like you're in this by yourself, it's because you're not plugged in. So get plugged in. And then number 3, you're going to need some tools. We've made all of the Share Success Suite available in one simple package. It's called the Natural Solutions Class Kit. And then we have the books that I mentioned earlier. Get these books. You can get them in an ebook, in a physical book form, in an audiobook form. Whatever you do, make sure that you're digging into these a little bit every day. It will change your life. By the end of this 30 days, you guys, you should come out just feeling phenomenal. You should feel like you are different than when you started if you do this right. Number 2, set goals and identify why. Now, I love this because knowing your why, it gives you a power, a force that keeps you going even when things get difficult. It gives you enough conviction that when ignorant people question what you're doing, you say, I know why I'm doing this and I'm going to keep going forward. The check boxes below, you'll see I have written and shared my goals. So not only have you written them down on paper, but you sent them to your upline, you posted them around your house, and then the other one is I can clearly explain my why. And we put that on here, you guys, because if you can't explain it simply, you probably don't understand it enough. And that might mean you need to practice just a few times, and that's okay. So this is page 6, and this is the worksheet that helps you write down your goals and get really clear on why they're important. And then at the bottom, it tells you that you're supposed to post them all over your house, in your kitchen sink, and by your kitchen sink, and by your bathroom and bedroom mirrors, and in your office. And you need to text a picture of it to your upline support. Okay, you'll notice there's check boxes throughout this guide, and those indicate the activities that we found to be very effective. And you'll also notice that they usually don't take a lot of time. All right, number 3 here is fill out an elite planner. So if you remember back in your build guide, you scheduled a combination of or just a bunch of classes or one-on-ones. You put those on your calendar. What we want you to do here is use this elite planner to make sure that you have enough presentations on your calendar to expect an anticipated number of enrollments, okay? Because the end goals here, of course, is it's a rank, and you have to have enough volume through enrollments to justify the rank. And so what we're doing here is encouraging you to go back and just transfer whatever you've planned onto this elite planner. And if you find that you've only got 2 classes planned, well, you probably need to put some more on your calendar or supplement them with one-on-ones in order to know that you'll have enough people to get to. In the book Go Pro that you'll read, you'll remember if you've already read it, he says that all that really matters is the number of sit-downs. You've got to get your presentation in front of people. If you're not doing that, no one's going to know how or why they should enroll, and so you're not going to get the enrollments. Your business won't grow. So this planner, you guys, it's basically just a good guide, a good roadmap to make sure that you've got enough presentations planned. Number 4 here is prioritize your names list. This is another step that's playing off of the build guide. So you remember that at the end of the build guide, you made a list of 100 people. And I always like to re-stress this. It's not 100 people that you're going to pester and bug, okay? These are people that you care about, people whose lives you would love to enrich in some way, okay? Now, when you made the names list, we encouraged you to not filter. We told you don't try and guess who's going to sign up, who's going to build, because you really don't know. Unless you've had experience in network marketing, you probably don't have a good way to filter your contacts yet. That's what this 4th step is for. So you're going to identify who is a good potential prospect or a good potential customer, a potential share, and a potential builder. And we're going to teach you how to take this names list and basically hone in on the hottest leads, okay, the hottest contacts, the lowest hanging fruit, you could call it. And there's a video by Spencer Pettit here that I'm just going to mention. I love his video because he teaches you how to, number 3 there on my page, if you can see it, he teaches you how to go through that names list and identify who would be the most likely to succeed in this business. And then that's who you're going to contact from the beginning because you want to identify 3 builders. You guys, I'm going to tell you, I've seen so many people who had a hard time finding builders. And I even have people that I've coached and they've spent, a year finding their 3 builders, or maybe the builders have dropped off. And what we found is that unless you have business building experience in network marketing, you usually don't know who's going to be a good builder. Maybe you think, oh, my niece is going to be so awesome at this. And then she turns out to be not awesome at this. And it's because there are certain qualities that we found that statistically make somebody more likely to be a successful builder. Now, there are always exceptions to this, but in the video that goes with this page, Spencer Pettit, he teaches you why this way of categorizing and tallying your contacts, why it's going to help you hone in. And I love this because if you rewind back to the beginning of this webinar, I told you one of the intentions was to help you identify your first 3 builders. And we want this to happen in the first 3 months. So that means you've got to know who you're looking for. And this page will teach you how to know who you're looking for. And as you fine-tune your names list, you're going to start transferring your top 45 prospects to this page. Okay? This is a step of, again, I reminded you at the beginning, don't skip any steps. I did this and it took me less than 10 minutes. Okay? But basically, the reason why you want to transfer them to this page is because on the right side, you're going to track every interaction you have with these people, with these top contacts. And as you lead them through the pipes process, it will help them receive the interactions, the care, the nurturing from you that they'll need to feel safe incorporating doTERRA into their lifestyle and or starting up a business with you. Okay, let's go on to number 5 here. Set a daily schedule. This is very simple. Success is scheduled, okay? And we teach you how to do 5 pipes a day. That's what we're calling it. 5 pipes to build your pipeline. And of course, if you want to receive greater results, just turn up the flow and do more pipes a day. But on the left hand here, I'm going to point out these questions. They're great questions to ask yourself daily. What preparations can I make today? Who can I invite today? Who can I share a presentation with today? Who can I enroll today? And who can I support today? If you notice, the first question is what, and then the other 4 questions, they all start with who. And I love that because this is a relationships business. And I find that the more I focus on interactions, having high quality interactions with people each day, the more I'm going to succeed. And the video about this page is done by Callie Wilson, and she teaches you how to block out a 10-hour doTERRA week. And you can literally do 5 pipes a day with only 10 hours a week. And I found people, that really wish they could get doTERRA going as a business, and they say, oh, I just have all these things going on. Anybody can find 10 hours a week. I promise you this. And if you're like most of us, we had to make, conscious sacrifices at the beginning of our, and even now in our businesses, but it is such a worthwhile conscious sacrifice because of the outcome, because of the way that residual income and the purpose in what you're doing changes your life. And this Post-it pad you're seeing here, just so you know, you can purchase that at Oil Life. It's a little pad that just gives you 1 page, and you just use that page each day to make sure that you're doing the right interactions and doing the right numbers. You guys, if you're not doing enough activity and the right activities, it's going to be hard to see your business rolling forward. Okay, I mean, I've heard a success trainer, Dale Calvert, he's big in network marketing, and he talks about how a lot of people are super busy, but they're not doing the right stuff. They're developing the perfect business card and the right webinar and all that stuff, and putting together their keynote, and none of that involves people and interactions, and so it doesn't actually grow the business. If you trust this pipes process that we've laid out for you, it'll teach you the right activities. All right, so you got your names list. Let's talk about what you're going to do with that names list. You remember you transfer the top 45 contacts onto that tracker. Now you're going to start inviting those people to experience doTERRA, okay? You're going to get oils onto their bodies, either getting samples to them, dropping oils on their hands, mailing product samples, or sometimes it might just be a text invitation, whatever it is. It's time to start inviting those 45 plus people to some sort of presentation. All right, and this page 11, it teaches you a very simple process on how to invite. Of course, there's a video training that goes along with it. And on the right-hand side of this page, I'm going to point out, you'll see at the top of it, it says show up to serve as a solutions provider, okay? This is going to teach you just a little bit of brainstorming activity to know how your products meet people's needs and how your opportunity meets people's needs. And knowing that and being able to explain it simply, that's going to make your invitation a lot clearer. It's going to make you feel more confident. Okay, and of course, I encourage you to watch the video on effective inviting because it's going to show you just the simplest way to get people to events. If you don't have people coming to your presentations, it's because you're either not inviting them or because you're not inviting them effectively. So go through this process and know how to do it well. Let's see here. I'm going to skip these because you can go through those on the video. Number 7 is presenting to 30 people. Notice the number there. 30 people in 30 days. Okay? Easy to remember, 30 and 30. And I love the numbers here because, number 1, for some of us, they force a few of us to get out of our comfort zone. I've shown this launch plan to people and they've seen 100 names. Oh, that's easy. Invite 45 people. Oh, that's easy. And I've shown it to other people and they think, I don't know that many people. And the truth is that they do. They just have to stop filtering, okay? Letting their fear be their filter because everyone knows that many people. And sometimes people will see this and they'll think, I've got to get 30 people to a class or a webinar or a one-on-one of some sort. And I'll tell you, when I built To Elite, I did it in my first 2.5 weeks. And I presented to less than 2 dozen people, or less than a dozen people, and I enrolled 7 of them. And I enrolled them all with Natural Solutions kits, so that basically made me an elite in 2.5 weeks. And that worked for me. But some people, as you're developing these skills, you might need to get your presentation in front of more bodies. We've put 30 people because it's a good, safe number to play off of. All right, some of you can present to fewer people. I mean, if you present to 2 people and enroll them both with diamond kits, obviously that puts you in an elite, but it doesn't structure your power of 3 bonus, right? And basically what we've mapped out here is if you present to 30 plus people and you enroll only half of them, all right, that's a very low enrollment rate for doTERRA because most people have 70 to 90% enrollment rate. But if you enroll only half of them, that's 15 enrollments. And if the average enrollment is a Home Essentials kit, which is also a low enrollment, then that puts you at 3,000 PV, but it also gives you 15 people to teach how to enjoy loyalty rewards and structure that Power of 3 bonus and start forming your legs, okay? So the checkboxes here, I know all the parts of a presentation, and I have presented to 30 plus people. And we've created this Natural Solutions class. That's our basic class, and then Natalie Goddard and Jenny Swim and Sri Burton and a team of other amazing geniuses, they also created an emotions class that has been beautiful for teaching people those new emotional aromatherapy oils. And those are the 2 simple classes that we go off of. So in the launch guide, it teaches you all the parts of a presentation. And you can use these in a one-on-one setting, a webinar, or a class. Okay, and it's color-coded and categorized, so it's very easy to follow. And if you do this, presentations become very duplicatable, okay? So now you've invited people, you've enrolled them. What do you do next? You enroll them, of course. And this is where you basically just give people that invitation. And this is where people start thinking of doTERRA as a sales company. And whether or not, whatever you want to call it, I say that all of life is sales, but the video that accompanies this section is so powerful. And Emily Pfeiffer, she teaches you 6 keys to close people with enrollment kits. And when you read this worksheet and you go through the video, you'll feel so confident. It changed my life. In fact, I watched the video and I had a friend that I was talking to just a few days afterward, and I did these exact steps that Emily taught in her video and that are on this worksheet, and I enrolled my friend with the Diamond Kit. So it was super effective. And here's a screenshot of the video. You'll notice there the content of these videos. It's incredible what these leaders from all over the company, people that aren't even on the Share Success team in some cases, have brought to the table just so that we could have the best system for you. Now, you need to know where to place these people. So we've put together a worksheet and a video to teach you how to strategize your placements. Of course, if you don't put people in the right spot, it can really hinder those people because they might not get the support they need. And it can also hinder your growth in your business because you need, structure for your Power 3 and your rank. And this the video and the worksheet will teach you how to do that most effectively. Now that you've got people enrolled and placed, the next thing, of course, is to support new members with wellness consults. If you remember earlier in the webinar, I talked about how there are 3 types of enrollments. The first was enrolling them as a wellness advocate. The second was enrolling them in loyalty rewards. And loyalty rewards, that's really, of course, where you create the long-term residual income in your business. Loyalty rewards is what shows people that they're getting results from their products. People want to be on loyalty rewards. And of course, we have a video to teach you how to do a wellness consult. It's actually a virtual wellness consult, and it's done by the fabulous Laura Jacobs. I was so excited when we filmed this because it's something that you can use to learn how to do a good wellness consult. It's also a tool that you can use to have someone have a virtual wellness consult experience. Sometimes you have someone it's just hard to connect to. But if you can really show the immense value of this wellness consult with Laura Jacobs, that person can watch that. And Laura, she walks you through the whole Live Guide. She teaches you how to set up your loyalty rewards, like how to set up your wellness plan for 90 days and how to pick out the items that you need for that 90-day wellness plan. Basically, a great wellness consult is what will help somebody know how to use the products that they just bought, but also know how to leverage the value of their membership so that they're getting those free product points, so that they're getting the company incentives, and so that they're keeping those things that they need for their family's wellness coming into their home on a regular basis. And boy, on my team, people love loyalty rewards. In fact, I've got one builder, and I'm so proud of this builder. She has a huge retention rate. Almost every single person on her team is on loyalty rewards, and most of them are customers. And it's because she's done such a good job of doing wellness consults in a timely manner, teaching the value of loyalty rewards. So I have here on this slide, the fortune is in the follow-up. And the reason why we put that there, of course, is because your wellness consult, that's one of the many follow-ups. And the follow-up process is laid out for you. I love this enrollment tools page in your launch guide. This is one of my favorite pages. The reason why is because it teaches you how to follow up with a customer, with a sharer, and with a builder. And the timing is essential. Sometimes we let people, I've seen people get enrolled in doTERRA and then their upline doesn't give them a wellness consult for weeks. And by the time the wellness consult happens, the energy it's dissipated. And the same thing happens to sharers and builders, okay? If you follow this follow-up process in the timing that's laid out, my goodness, you will see more momentum and energy than you ever have in this business. Now, number 11 is we're getting to the end of this process, okay? You've got a whole bunch of stuff going on in your team at this point, okay? And this is, of course, closer to the end of your 30 days, so the end of November, if you're watching the webinar this month. And basically, you've identified those 3 key builders. You've given them an invitation to build with you, and it's time to launch them. And you check that box there. I understand how to launch and mentor builders. You check that box when you've watched all the videos and when you've done all the pages in this launch guide. You guys, when you've done that, you can literally effectively launch any new builder because you know the process. And of course, you'll check the bottom box when you have launched 3 new builders. And launching new builders, you guys, it's again, you know the exact steps and you know the exact timing, right? When you have a new builder or a builder prospect, you'll give them that build guide. If they love what they see and they say yes, they'll do those first 3 steps in the build guide in 48 hours. It says right there, do these in 48 hours. When they've done those, you'll give them the launch guide. And you remember the launch guide says do these first 4 steps in 72 hours. So launching a builder, it's, build guide, 2 days. Launch guide, they get going and they've done the first 4 steps in their first 3 days. Very simple. We've included a page here about mentoring, and it's divided into 2 sections. There's be mentored and mentor. And I love what's in that first paragraph. Everything duplicates. So if you show up accountable to your mentor, you will attract greater accountability from your team. And this can save so much headache. It can also be so encouraging. When you've got people that are accountable to you, they ask you, hey, hold me accountable to my goals. Here's what I want to do this week. They'll do that if you do that with your upline. Okay. And this success check-in that we've included at the back of the launch guide, it's a reiteration of an old version, but it's the most powerful thing we've ever seen for accountability. Because not only do you have those spots where you can write down, what's working and what's challenging you in your business and what you're doing to break through those challenges, but at the bottom, number 4, you get to tally the number of pipes that you're doing each week. And this makes success very easy to predict. And the reason why is because if you don't have the numbers happening, you're not going to see the results. All right? And the reason why I say that is because if you have a class and only one person shows up, like I said earlier, you're either not inviting people or you're not inviting them effectively. So as a mentor, I can go through somebody's success check-in here and I can see, they've only got 2 tallies they've only got 2 invites from the whole week. Well, no wonder why they don't have very many presentations or enrollments. They're not inviting people, right? So it makes, if you're scheduling your success, okay, your success becomes very predictable. Now, and by the way, with a success check-in, we encourage you to do this every week, okay? At the top, it says complete and send your upline weekly or bi-weekly. Unless you have excellent success records and you know exactly what you're doing and it's working, I encourage you to do this weekly. It takes literally 5 minutes. I do this and I send it into my upline, and it's I've been doing doTERRA for 2.5 years and I still do this because that's what successful people do. They hold themselves accountable. Now, the last thing here is we've included a little tool to help you build your confidence. We found that the more confident you feel, the more people are going to listen to you. And it's because they can feel the energy, all right? And you might be hearing what I'm saying and thinking, I'm not confident yet. That's okay. It's an ongoing development process. And one of the books that we love that you'll actually read after you've read the first 2 books, it's in the Premier Guide. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he teaches the power of programming your subconscious mind. So basically, before I show you the confidence statement that we've laid out for you, I've got this little diagram. Whatever you believe will show up in the amount of action or non-action you take. And that action or non-action will create the results or lack thereof. And the results, if you're getting results, it'll fuel your belief even more. Okay, if you're not getting results, it'll cause a diminishing in your belief. And then you'll say, maybe this doesn't work, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe this isn't for me, whatever it is, okay? So let's start back at the top. If you start from day 1 building confidence, reading those personal development books, reading the confidence statement we've written out for you, if you start building that belief from the beginning, it will cause you to take action. I mean, every time I watch one of our videos, even the ones that I know the content of, and I see other, my colleagues, my brothers and sisters in doTERRA just saying what works for them, it builds my belief, my confidence, and it makes me want to take more action. And the more I take action, the more I play the numbers game, the more it builds my results. And every time I receive results, it causes a greater level of belief, okay? I'm not talking about the same kind of confidence. It creates a new level of confidence, which then creates a new level of action. My actions get bigger. If I could draw on the screen, I'd kind of draw a little spiral, like I'd start here with belief, action, result, and then I'd make my circle get bigger and bigger and bigger going around this diagram. Because this cycle, when you play it right, when you build your confidence regularly, oh my goodness, it just explodes exponentially. So this is the confidence statement at the very end of the launch guide. And it's basically a way to just reprogram your subconscious mind so that you start believing things that will serve you, okay? that little voice that sometimes comes in your head, like, oh, yeah, I'm not very good at this, I stink at this, or, people don't listen to me, or I see people succeeding, but I don't know if I could be successful. Whatever it is, let's reprogram that, shall we? This is something that we teach every builder, experience and inexperience, to read twice a day, morning and night. We're following the instruction of one of the most popular success authors in human history. That's Napoleon Hill. Okay, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for us. And we found this to be really effective. And then at the bottom, we have a little example of a vision board, because that's another thing that his book teaches you to make that can really build your confidence. So you are officially invited to create something tremendous with doTERRA, and this is the best process that we've found to do it in. And I'm grateful for Natalie's introduction and for the collaboration of the Heidi Wayland and Natalie and Andy Goddard and Laura Jacobs. And this those four, and then myself, were the ones that wrote this. But this guide, it wasn't just us. It was a collaboration of people from all over the company. We had blue and presidential diamonds from all over the place flying in and Skyping in and bringing their best stuff forward so that you could have this. And I invite you to take advantage of it. I remember when I started doTERRA, I didn't have any of this. I had sales skills. I had sales experience, and that's why I was able to just, pitch my presentation to a few people and enroll, a handful of people with kits. And I actually didn't hit Elite again for 6 months after that first 2.5 weeks. And the reason why is because I identified builders pretty early on, and I didn't know how to teach them to do what I did because they weren't sales professionals like I was. And I didn't have a system. I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't have a plan. And I remember when that changed was when I went to a retreat. It was an elite retreat held by Laura Jacobs up in the mountains in Utah. And she taught me the Share Success System, the Live, Share, and Build guides. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, this has existed the whole time. There was a system that told people what to do. And when I started using a system and had a plan, I hit Elite again that month, then Premier the next month, then Silver the month after that. Duplication just became like clockwork. And that system back then, that was the old system. This, what you've seen here, is so much more fine-tuned. It is so refined and polished. And my goodness, we talk about this regularly as Share Success authors. We talk about how if we had this when we started our businesses, how different our experiences would have been. You've got it. And so it's up to you to trust the process. It's up to you to plug in and use these things. So that is the launch guide, and that is your invitation. I'm going to go ahead and open this up to questions now. Let's see here. We'll spend a little bit of time doing Q&A.
You've got it. And so it's up to you.
Oh, sorry, we've got an echo here.
It's up to you to plug in.
There we go. I think we should be good with the echo. Okay. Share Success webinars. Oh, sorry, I've got kind of a weird squished face in here. Refresh the page. Okay, so there's a chat box that's just below the video. If you have any questions, I'd love to see. Oh, my name, Elaine, it's Andrew June Donovan. June like the Japanese name, not like the month. Jenna, what time frame are the classes supposed to be scheduled in? A week and a month? In a month at the most, okay? And the reason why is because, of course, if you're going for a rank, it's your rank of elite, it's determined by the volume that happens in that month period, right? doTERRA is built off of 7 and 30-day, sometimes 31-day periods. I know that some aggressive leaders, they teach new builders to launch within a weekend. In fact, Laura, when she has a really committed builder, she'll have them plan all 4 classes in a 3-day period. And they just go bam, 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 and they launch really fast and hard. Andy Goddard shared this neat analogy. He said, it's launching your business, it's like launching a rocket ship. When you launch a rocket ship, I think it uses some 80% of its fuel in the first 30 minutes. It was some crazy number like that. And the point is that you need to have high intensity from the beginning. If you spread it out over a long period of time, you are subject to the law of diminishing energy. But if you launch hard and fast from the beginning, I mean, even in 10 hours a week you can do this, then you've got that momentum, the gusto from the beginning that will work. All right, let's see. Next question here. Where to buy? Again, Oil Life. I think that the website is still myoilbusiness.com. My video's not working anymore. Oh no, hit the refresh button. Let's see. Any other questions coming in here? Those are all the questions. Oh, yes, Marisa, the webinar is recorded. So this will be live for a while. You can go back to the same webpage, sharesuccess.com/webinars. And yes, again, it is being recorded. All right, any other questions here? If there aren't any other questions, I'll hang out for just a minute here. Let's see, can I forward this video to my builder? Yes, you may. Just forward the link, sharesuccess.com/webinar. How do you share videos like Laura Jacobs' Wellness Consult video? Oh, it's just a link. So the Live, Share, and Build guides, we've launched them into new individual web pages. So if you go to sharesuccess.com/live, that web URL has the Live guide and the virtual wellness consult right there. And so that just makes sending it, to a new customer really simple. Same with the Build guide. The Build guide is sharesuccess.com/ you guessed it, build. And you can just forward that link to a builder prospect and say, hey, watch the video and we'll go through the Build guide together. And that's literally what I do to recruit builders right now. Let's see. Is my oil... Oh, and those web URLs, you're so welcome, Jennifer. Thank you. Those web URLs, those are being redesigned right now. They're live right now, but they'll be very pretty in 2 days. Let's see. Is my oil business, Oil Life, the only seller of the Live Guide? No, you can buy the Live Guide at Aroma Tools as well. Let's see. With Laura Jacobs' Wellness Consult, when do you think it's appropriate to send that to people instead of doing a personal one? Oh, great question. Well, for me, I kind of do a combination of both. If I were a new builder and I felt not very confident yet, I would either, one, watch Laura's Wellness Consult 3 or 4 times until I really knew the process. And if I still didn't feel confident, I would just send the link to my new customer. It's really how you position the value of something. I've seen builders that can't even get their own enrollments to watch, do a live personal wellness consult, and it's because they're not really positioning the value. I mean, if you really show the value, hey, this is a rare opportunity to have 30 minutes with a world-renowned health coach, Laura Jacobs. I'm going to send you the link, and if I send it to you, will you watch it in the next 2 days? Okay, positioning it like that, and people are going to see, oh, you want to take it seriously. Jenna, Laura's Wellness Consult, it's at sharesuccess.com/live. Okay, the video is also on the launch webpage too. All the videos are there. Let's see. Oh, you're so welcome, Elaine. Thanks for the nice thoughts there. Let's see. So going back to that question, when would I do Laura's virtual wellness consult versus doing my own? It would depend. I would also do Laura's consult if I had a class that had 10 people enroll. And I'm thinking, wow, I don't have time to do 10 wellness consults this week. So I might either do a group wellness consult if I can gather people to one living room all together, or I might say, I might just position Laura's and do that one. Let's see. No, Laura's, the virtual wellness consult, it's not on YouTube. Okay, it's at sharesuccess.com/live. We're having to be a little protective right now just because of compliance issues, and we're hosting the videos just on our website. And by the way, oh, you're welcome, Marissa. By the way, yes, I can't remember whose question I was answering. Let's see. This question. I'm not on the Goddard's team, but I'm trying to encourage my new builders to do the launch system and show them how effective Share Success is. Do you know how many diamonds are on their team? I do know that over 1/3 of all the diamonds in the entire company are just on Natalie and Andy's team. There's over 500,000 people just on the Goddard's team, on the Share Success team. Okay, so it's massive. And there are more diamonds on the Goddard's team than on any other team. So let's see. What other questions do we have going on here? Oh, and I can't tell you. Oh, I don't know if I should spell that yet. Well, I'll be generic. Just to tell you what this what the system is doing. The living, sharing, building brochures that are in your doTERRA enrollment packet, those are there because doTERRA came to the Share Success team and said, hey, this system you're doing seems to be working better than anything else. So we'd like to make that live, share, build wordage universal vernacular throughout doTERRA. And that's why doTERRA made their own versions of living, sharing, building. So, of course, we love our live, share, build guides because we feel that they're very, feel that they're just very polished. They're the result of the most profound experiences of very successful, effective leaders in doTERRA. All right, let's see. Last chance for any other questions. Let me go back and make sure I haven't missed anything else. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for all the love notes, guys. I was wondering which brochures came first. That's awesome. Oh, Live, Share, Build from Share Success came long before. And we actually, a little secret, this is where I'll be very vague. There's another country that's an officially open doTERRA country, and that country is in talks with Share Success about making Share Success the official system of that entire country for doTERRA, that part of the world. So we're excited about that. Okay, I think that looks like that's all the questions. Well, friends, please feel free to share this webinar. You can have your team come back and watch it, sharesuccess.com/webinars. And there you go. Oh, let's see, a few other questions piping in here. Let's see. Is there a CDN site for getting these resources? I'm assuming CDN means Canadian, Stephanie. Is there a CDN site for getting these resources? Do you mean to purchase these? Because Canadian residents will still go through Oil Life or Aroma Tools. And of course, we prefer Oil Life because it has that book that I'm obsessed with, the Essential Life book. So I always send my team to Oil Life for my oil business. And the Canadian site would just be the same website. All right. Lisa, after you sign up a wellness advocate, what do you do if you can't get a person to set a time to do the consult? Oh, great question. I just find out how am I positioning things? It always comes back to positioning. If you can't get a time, if they're not setting aside time for a wellness consult, I just come back and I would say, look, I just want to make sure that I am supporting you as best I can and that you're getting the best value for your money because I care about that, and that you're feeling like you're getting support. So if the wellness consult, it's something that I believe in so much. If I set time aside in my schedule to do that with you, would you set some time aside, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Would you set some time aside to do it with me in the next few days? Right? If I, would you? That's something you learn in the GoPro book. Oh, now there's lots of questions coming. Oh, Canadian shipping is just really expensive. Stephanie, my best advice for that is just to team up with other builders and just bulk buy together so that you pay less on shipping. Jenna, you find out if you're on the Goddard's team by going into your back office and clicking on the team tab and then your upline listing. And if you see Seedstone in your upline, that means you're on the Goddard's team. Let's see. Checking out now. Let's see. Do you direct people to the Essential Life book over the Modern Essentials book? Okay. What I'm going to say to you is not Share Success advice. This is Andrew June Donovan advice. Okay. I love the Essential Life book personally. I find that it's more accessible and that it gives the information is just easier to access. And I like the lifestyle section, and I like the book. I think it's much more beautiful. It's more aesthetically pleasing than Modern Essentials. I like Modern Essentials for someone that's very science-driven because I love that it has a chemical constituents of the oils, and I like that it has just some of the numbers in it. But for almost every person I enroll, I prefer Essential Life. But I do love the Modern Essentials app because I can't have my Essential Life textbook with me all the time. Let's see. Thanks. You're welcome. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close up this webinar. Friends, thank you so much for being with us. We love you. We are cheering for your success. If you're not enrolled in that 21-day Launch Your Business Challenge, go ahead and go to sharesuccess.com/launch, enter your name and email address, and click go. It's so easy to get that content delivered to you. And of course, you can learn at your own pace right there on the website. And we wish you best of luck.